Welcome, one and all. Your host Steve here to give you my review of the latest installment in the MonsterVerse franchise, Godzilla Cross Kong: The New Empire. And we'll be delving into spoilers later in this video, so to be safe, feel free to look at the timestamps I placed in the description box below, and you can skip that portion of my review. The New Empire is once again being helmed by Adam Wingard, the director of Godzilla vs. Kong. It is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. There were things I liked and things I didn't like. What I did like was, of course, the kaiju slugfests sprinkled throughout the movie. I mean, was there ever really any doubt that those sequences were gonna be bad? Of course not. The final fight sequence especially was just pure 80s monster fighting magic. I mean, does it top that big first fight between Godzilla and Kong? For me, not quite, but it's still a visual orgasm that you're just grinning ear to ear watching. The music also has this 80s synth feel to it that kind of plays over these moments throughout, so it really sells that angle even more, and I got a real kick out of it. Kong, of course, he takes a central role like he did in the last film, and honestly, I just loved every minute that he was on screen. He was the best part of the movie for me. He's essentially the only character in this movie with any real emotion whatsoever. As for positives, that's really about it. The overall story as to why Godzilla is even teaming up with Kong in the first place is pretty simple. It's pretty bland. Basically, they're teaming up to stop another giant ape who goes by the name of the Scar King, and his appearance is kind of menacing, I will admit. He's got this vertebrae as like a whip of sorts, and he has a whole army that he commands because the other apes are so terrified of him, they'd rather fight on his side than against him and then risk their lives. But he's just a thing. He's just an obstacle that they have to fight and stop, because if they don't, he'll rule over the surface world or something to that effect. Of course, the human characters in this are just not noteworthy at all. The human interaction is where the pacing gets kind of bogged down a little bit for me. I was constantly just asking myself, when are we getting back to Kong? Can we just go back to, can we just go back to Kong, please? Some of the cast are returning from the last film, like Rebecca Hall, Kaylee Hoddle, who plays her daughter in the film, as well as Brian Tyree Henry, who are joined by newcomer Dan Stevens. They're basically there for comedic relief for the most part and some exposition. Now from this point, this is where I'm gonna be getting into some spoiler territory, so once again, if you wanna skip this section of the video, you don't wanna know what happens, by all means do so. Rebecca Hall's daughter in the movie, Gia, I can't remember how it was pronounced, but she has this connection with Kong, sort of like a telepathic link in a way. And basically she is this prophecy, the Kickstarter of this ancient war between the Titans and the Scar King. Throughout the film, she keeps receiving a signal that is calling for help from the Hollow Earth, and the cast discovered that a tribe similar to her own reside in this part of it. And it didn't really make sense to me why she was getting these visions, and I don't really recall it ever being explained fully, other than that she's a direct descendant of the Iwi. She uses this ability of hers to awaken the Queen of the Monsters, Mothra. Yeah, we haven't seen her in quite some time, to aid Godzilla and Kong against this new threat that is using another kaiju with ice breath to, I guess, kickstart a new ice age? Sounds familiar. Anyway, seeing Mothra come back was cool and all for those final moments, but did she really need to be there? I don't really think she needed to be. I don't think the movie would have changed much at all if she wasn't included, but hey, more monsters is better than less monsters, and if you got the budget for it, why not? I had a tough time scoring this one, but I'm sitting at a 3 out of 5. The monster action is great, especially in the final act. The film really rides that wave of an 80s action monster slugfest, and I loved it for that. Unfortunately, Godzilla once again takes a backseat to Kong, and if you're expecting drama on the level of Godzilla -1 when it comes to the human side of things, you're gonna be really sad, my friend. But what did you guys think of this latest installment in the MonsterVerse? Have you checked it out yet? where would you rank it on your MonsterVerse list? There's been enough of them out now. I'm sure you have some sort of a list ready to go. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed, and also sub to the channel, tick the bell, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, keep it classy and keep it geeky.